I tried the 50-30-20 budget rule for 30 days to see if it actually works. And honestly, I wasn't expecting this. It completely changed how I think about money, but not in the way you'd expect. Because the rule itself, it's simple. Almost too simple. 50% of your income goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, 20% goes to savings. That's it. Before this experiment, I was spending randomly. No system. Just hoping money would be left at the end of the month. Spoiler, there never was. After 30 days of the 50/30/20 rule, I saved $680. First time I'd saved that much in a single month in my life. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what happened. What worked, what didn't, and whether you should actually try this yourself. Let's go. What is the 50-30-20 rule? Before we get into the experiment, let me explain the rule. It's dead simple. 50% equals needs. Things you have to pay for to survive. Rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. 30% equals wants, things that make life enjoyable but aren't essential. Eating out, subscriptions, hobbies, shopping, entertainment. 20% equals savings and debt emergency fund. Retirement, extra debt payments, investments. That's the framework. Now let's see if it actually works in real life. Week 1. The setup and immediate problems. I make $3,400 per month after taxes. So here's what my budget should look like. 50% needs equals $1,700, 30% wants equals $1,020, 20% savings equals $680. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. Week 1, I immediately hit a problem. My rent is $1,200. That alone is 35% of my income. Add in groceries, $250, car insurance, $120, gas, $80, phone, $50, utilities, $70, total needs, $1,770. That's already over my 50% limit. The fix. I had two options. Make more money, not happening in 30 days. Adjust the percentages. I went with option 2. New split. 55% needs equals $1,870, 25% wants equals $850, 20% savings equals $680. Not perfect, but realistic. The 50-30-20 rule is a guide, not a law. Adjust it to fit your life. Okay, so week 1 was about adjusting the framework, but week 2, that's when I realized where all my money was actually going. Week 2. Tracking every dollar. The painful truth. To make this work, I had to track everything, and I mean everything. Coffee, snacks, app purchases, random Amazon orders, all of it. Here's what I found. My wants category was out of control. I thought I was spending maybe $500 per month on wants. Reality, $1,100 per month. Breakdown, eating out, $320. Coffee shops, $95, subscriptions, $87, shopping, $240, random impulse buys, $180 entertainment, $178 I was spending more on wants than I was on rent. The fix, I had to cut $250 from wants to hit my $850 target. Here's what I did. Meal prepped on Sundays. Cut eating out from $320 to $120. Made coffee at home. Cut coffee from $95 to $20. Cancelled 3 subscriptions I forgot about. $34 saved. Stopped browsing Amazon when bored. Saved $76. New wants total, $848. I hit my target. You can't manage what you don't measure. Track everything for 1 week. You'll be shocked. Week 2 was brutal. But week 3? That's when the 20% savings rule started to feel impossible. Week 3. The savings struggle. Why 20% is hard. Saving 20% sounds easy on paper, but when you're used to saving 0%, it's a massive shift. Here's what happened. Week 3, I had an unexpected expense. $150 car repair. My first instinct, take it from savings. But that would defeat the whole point. So I took it from my wants budget instead. New wants for the week, $700 instead of $850. It sucked. But I kept the $680 savings intact. The fix, I realized, you need a small emergency buffer before you start the 20% savings rule. If I'd had even $500 saved, that $150 repair wouldn't have felt like a crisis. Build a $500 emergency buffer first, then start the 20% rule. Don't skip this step. Week 3 taught me the importance of a buffer. But week 4, that's when everything clicked. Week 4, the results, what actually changed. By week 4, the 50-30-20 rule felt normal. I wasn't thinking about it constantly. I'd built the habit. Here's what I ended up with after 30 days. Income, $3,400. Spending, needs, $1,850, 54%. Wants, $870, 26%. Savings, $680, 20%. Total saved, $680. That's the most I'd ever saved in 1 month. But the money wasn't even the biggest win. What actually changed? I stopped guessing. I knew exactly where my money was going. I stopped feeling guilty. The 30% wants budget gave me permission to spend on things I enjoyed without the guilt. I automated savings. I set up a $170 per week auto transfer. The money moved before I could spend it. The 50-30-20 rule isn't about being perfect. It's about having a system. Most people fail at budgeting because they try to restrict everything. They burn out in a week. The 50-30-20 rule works because it's balanced. You save, but you also live. I break down this rule, plus 4 other budgeting systems, in my book, The Complete Beginner's Guide to Personal Finance. It includes budget templates, savings trackers, and step-by-step breakdowns. Links in the description. All right, now, let me give you a quick pros and cons of the 50-30-20 money rule. The pros and cons. Pros. The 50-30-20 money rule is simple to understand. Flexible, you can adjust percentages, balances saving and spending. Works for any income level, helps you see where money actually goes. Cons. It doesn't work if your needs are over 50%, like mine were. Requires tracking, which most people hate. Doesn't account for irregular income. 20% savings might be too aggressive for some. It's not perfect, but it's a solid starting point. Here's my honest take after 30 days. The 50-30-20 rule works, but only if you customize it. If your rent is 40% of your income, adjust to 60-20-20. If you can save more, go 50-20-30. The percentages don't matter as much as the system. What matters? Know your numbers. Track your spending. Automate your savings. Give yourself permission to spend on wants. I saved $680 in 30 days. That's $8,160 per year, just from having a system. If you want to try this, start with 1 month. Track everything. See where you land, then adjust. The budgeting guide in my book will help. Links in the description. Let's build better money habits. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care, and see you in the next video.